Welcome back to more Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. So, last time, we made a start on our adventure, I guess. We basically just went around and interviewed some students about this choker phenomenon that's been going on. So, yeah. And then, we also got into contact with Ana Yoshizaka, who seems to be at the epicenter of all this, I guess you could say, because there are a lot of people thinking that, she decided to use the choker to get revenge on the person that ran her over. So and she wasn't acting very nicely towards the principal. Then again, who does in this place? So man, let's go see the principal and giving a good telling off. Unfortunately though, it looks like we won't get the chance. What's with this? What the hell? Excuse me, sir, I want to ask you. This is... the note he's holding, that plan of killing him. It's him. Are you the first one on scene? Did you see anyone suspicious? Anything suspicious when you got here? When did you get here? I don't know. Stop asking things all at once. You don't think... It's not me. I didn't do anything. You, wait! Hey Maya, why are you leaving me? And now the problems start rising. What's that? What the hell's going on? Can't you tell? It's Demon! Demon! And now I felt some guilty girls popped up. A demon? Who the hell are you? And what is this feeling? You got the letter, right? It's me, Joker. And here he is, the ruined mystery man who kills by request when someone calls themselves on their cellular phone. I took a request, so I'm here to kill you. That's what the rumor says. What? Maya Amino, I know you so very well. Even what you did on the other side. Try and call your precious persona, and if you don't, these guys will eat you. Use these guns. You can use one, can't you? Bang, bang with both hands. Criminal suspect 501. You're under arrest for illegal firearm possession and threatening a peace officer.
Nanda, この感じは。我はヘリオス。古の日銀率いて世の川だれの木を破る者。我、汝が戦車の忠実なる御者とならん。
わらわはカリスト。最も美しき者と歌われし人婦が一人。艶ごとに疲れし美しみよ。汝に真の愛を教えましょう。
我は汝は我。我は汝の心の海を腕し者。 英明なる母マイヤーなり。
その調子だ。だがよ、お前は今は殺さない。悪魔どもを差し向けてじわじわなぶり殺してやる。思い出せ、運命からは逃げられねえってことよ。
So yeah, I'll see when we get our persona power. It's time to go here. So we're dead? What the hell is my life all about? And it's him. That is not true. I invited you. My name is Philemon. I exist between consciousness and death, the one who has granted you the personas. Ruler over the ego, revealer of truth, and creator of all unconscious actions. Seems he has weakened for some reason. Of course, that's Philemon. 501 said the same thing. I asked this as I am in a dream. What is a persona? Your powers are hidden deep within your heart. Like a god or devil is another self. Like a god filled with love. Like a demon merciless. Demons go through life with many faces. Your current appearance is just another face, and so is your persona, one of many. Another you with physical conflict, like our original forms. What is your purpose in giving us these? They actually formed a conversation. I have something to ask of you. I underestimated the string of misfortune was too deep. They made tears of blood. This side, only you can save. What's wrong? I can't understand you. Warning, rumors will become reality. Light within hearts of people. So yeah, we don't get to learn too much from him. Because like I said in that dialogue, yeah, it seems he's being weakened for some reason. Are you alright? Well, it seems we're all alive. Itsuo, get me Captain Shimazu. One was at Seven Sisters. The suspect has killed the principals and at large. Maya, you okay? You okay, Lala? Yeah, I'm fine. Backup's on its way. I'll go after that girl. You two stay. With me, you're also in danger. Why her? The suspect's that backhead? It's just like he said, it's a contract killing. I can't exclude her possible involvement. Well, she did say that she would kill him. Is this related to the dream? Rumors become reality, is what he said? The Joker rumor is true then. It can't be, is what I like to say, but I can't. Not after seeing all this. I accept the fact that he borrowed our consciousness to give us clues. We have to pursue whatever he gives us. So that's why you're so calm. Come with me. I can't leave you alone. I'm going too. I'm her friend. I couldn't stand if you left me here. Fine. This is an extreme circumstance. I'll let you have the guns you left behind. Use it only to protect yourself. I don't need this. I do know how to box, you know. What's wrong? I heard a loud commotion. This was murdered. Backup will be here soon, so don't worry. Tell the students to stay in their classrooms. And now we can fight. But first, let's look at our other options. So, yes, skills. This allows us to look at the skills of our personas. We have items. This is actually kind of important. Because, yeah, we can see what items we picked up. Also have key items, too. Yeah, Mr. Bond on her. Handmade toy that Maya carries at all times. She gave to her deceased father when she was a child. You also got the cellophone, essential item in modern society. It features daily Wang Long fortune. And the advanced nurse. And then, yeah, you have cards. This is something that got transferred. You see that I have 773 tarot. Which also does mean that, yeah, the transfer worked. So, yeah. That'll be important for later when we fuse, but we don't have to worry about it now. Equipment, this is another way to see that you've done the transfer. Because, yeah, we should have the karma ring. And, yeah, considering that, I guess, looking forward to what I'm going to be talking about soon, Katsu is going to be a physical attacker, so it makes sense to give him the karma ring at this point until we maybe want to give him something else to help develop his stats. So there you go. And then obviously we got the personas, who we're going to be talking about. We have 3 personas to talk about, and also 3 party members too, because I also want to go over those. You obviously got Maya's Maya, we've got Ulala's Callisto, and we've got Katsuya's Helios. So yeah, we'll be talking about them in a bit. I just want to show everything else. Then we got status. Actually, guys, there's a profile of each character. Maya is earth of coolness, cheerful by nature. She has been troubled by occurrences of deja vu lately. Then you got Ulala Sarizawa, Maya's best friend who likes fortune telling, tends to get excited easily. And finally, Katsuya Suro, sergeant of the homicide division with a strong sense of justice. Interesting enough, though, compared to Izusen, his occupation has changed a little bit. I think he was part of the arson division, but here he actually is part of the homicide division. And then, yeah, actually there's a few more. You can go to analyze, but this is for looking at personas that we summoned and also demons who will fight. And then now battle settings. This will probably make a bit more sense later, but yeah, you can look at your actions, and apparently you can also change your actions too while you're here, so that's nice. Because yeah, let's just say this battle system revolves around auto battling, so yeah, that's why that's a thing. You can look at future spells now. Something interesting about future spells is that you may notice you have a very long list of them. That's because if you've played Izusen, then yeah, you'll unlock the future spells you've used, but also some future spells might be here that you didn't learn. Like for example, is it going to be here, I wonder? Because yeah, you might be able to see, because yeah, I was managed, yeah. What I'm trying to say is, yeah, there's some future spells that I was able to see that I didn't actually use in my first save. But here it looks like, yeah, most of them are here, so all the ones I learned are here, so yeah. This is nice. It's basically like having the, it's like having a scent item. I forget what it's called exactly, but it allows you to see your future spells. But yeah, since I already learned, then yeah, that's pretty good. Battle mode, this will make more sense when battling, but basically, yeah. Normal, it basically keeps auto battling each turn. Single, after all the actions the turn have done, you can set your battle again, basically. And then after that, you can confirm. So yeah, that's that, and then after that, save. So, now that I've gone over all those, let's actually talk about these personas. So we've got obviously Maya, Callisto, and Helios. So let's do just that. So let's start things off with our main character, Maya Amino. So let's go with some basics about her. So as on that cutscene, she uses guns as her main weapon. Since most of these deal physical damage, I don't think they're that useful for her because, yeah, I view Maya as sort of a magical attacker, especially looking at what arcana she's good with. But the interesting thing about these guns is the fact that, yeah, despite the fact that they are dual wielded, they're actually the same as Katsu's guns, so that means that Maya and Katsu could equip the same weapons. This is definitely not a bad thing to remember at some point. So anyway, we can also talk about the VAs here. So when referring to English, this is obviously talk about Italo Punishment's PS1 version and its English dub. And then when I talk about Japanese, it refers to this version mainly. So apparently Lani Minella voiced Maya in Italo Punishment PS1 with the English dub, and then this version we get to listen to Akiko Yajima. So anyway, as a character, like I was kind of saying before, I view Maya as kind of a magical attacker, and that's mainly because of the arcanas. So she's great with Fool, Magician, Hermit, Temperance, Moon, Rod, and Coin. She's also good with Priestess, Empress, Fortune, Star, Sun, Judgment, Cup, and Sword. And then some characters actually have arcanas that worse with, and in Maya's case that's Strength. So a lot of these are very magical focused, not many of them learn physical skills, so yeah. That's why I think focusing in on Maya's dexterity stat is quite important. And I guess, yeah, we can talk about the stats here while we are thinking about how we're going to build Maya, because, yeah, Maya being the main character, you are able to choose what stats you invest in. So, yeah, we got Strength. Strength obviously is how much damage you deal with physical attacks. So having more of that increases your attack stat, aka you do more damage to your regular attack and physical skills. And then after that is Vitality. This is for your defense. Your defense stat basically. Mainly physical defense because your dex actually is for magic defense too in these games as well. So yeah, it's actually quite useful because of that. Could be nice to invest in Maya because Maya being more a magical attacker, she can be a bit squishy. Especially because, yeah, she does have a lot of personas that don't like taking physical attacks either, so it's kind of nice to sort of cover that weakness. Then is Dex, or Tech as it was called in the PS1 version. Yeah, this is a stat I like to invest in Maya. It affects a magic attack, also magic defense too, so magical attacks, if she invests a lot into it, might not do that much damage to it, which can be quite useful. And yeah, just in general, more damage to magical skills, which are mainly fusion spells and also the main source of, the main, powerful skills of this game, they're all magical, so yeah. So investing in Dex really helps because of that, so yeah. Especially with someone, like I said, that mainly wants to use some personas that don't really love physical skills anyway, so yeah. Once again, that's the reason why I think Maya going in with that dex stat is really important. Then after that is Agility. This affects turn order. I think it may also affect accuracy and evasion. But yeah, I also like investing in this just because, again, getting the jump on enemies feels very important in this game because, again, a lot of enemies hurt quite badly in this game. You may not need to go all in with Agility because something about future spells I should mention is that the person in the back determines the power of the future spell. I know that's a thing in this game. I'm not so sure if it wasn't in Sin, it very well could have. So, Maya actually not having the best agility world isn't the worst thing in the world, because if you do invest into a deck stat a lot, it means that, yeah, she's by far your most damaging person with fusion spells, so her going last with them is actually quite useful because of that, so yeah. And finally, Luck. Luck doesn't do too much. It's mainly good for outside of battle, I feel like. Luck with the lotteries and stuff, and also the sweepstakes, those are what I mainly like to use luck for, and you can also artificially raise Maya's luck stat with these, so it's not something you need to invest in, but you can if you want. So yeah, those are the stats, and yeah, personas also have these stats too, and they combine with the character stats to give you your actual stats, so yeah. So now we talked about that, let's talk about Maya's Arcana, the Moon Arcana. She's also the Cancer Zodiac sign, although Zodiac signs aren't banned for in this game. But it's something neat, I guess, that will mention for everyone anyway. So anyway, Moon Arcana represents illusion, intuition, uncertainty, confusion, complexity, secrets, and unconscious. When reversed, it represents fear, deception, anxiety, misunderstanding, misinterpretation, clarity, and understanding. Maya can be seen as intuitive as she leads the party and makes a lot of critical decisions for the party. The focus on illusions fits Maya's occupation as she is uncovering the hidden truths through her reporting work. So again, I don't think, just like we talked about before, I don't think that Maya and Moon fit very well together. It's very interesting arcana to have for a main character too, considering that, yeah, it's actually kind of viewed as a more negative arcana, considering, focus on illusions, uncertainty, confusion that we just talked about, so yeah. Again, it's quite interesting for our main character, especially with someone as positive as Maya, considering that, yeah, Moon Arcana is essentially like Persona 4, for example. Mostly, mostly kind of, like I said, kind of negative social link with the Moon character in that game, so yeah. Again, it's just something kind of fascinating. And yeah, Moon Personas in general, they're pretty good. They have a good selection of good offenses and good support, so yeah, they fit her quite well, and of course she's going to be great with them because it's something Arcana. Now let's talk about Persona, which is also a familiar name, Maya, the daughter of Atlas and Theone, and the patron goddess of nursing mothers. She is also the eldest of the 7 Pleiades sisters who support the heavens. She also had an affair with Zeus and gave birth to Hermes. She fits the Moon Arcana due to the Pleiades being stars and associated space, and does fit Maya as she's a very compassionate person who helps others, kind of like how Maya is considered a caring mother, due to her role of patron goddess of nursing mothers. So yeah. Probably doesn't fit as well as, the other game, but I still think that this is quite a big persona for her, so yeah. Now let's talk about how Maya actually works. So she has a slightly different design in this game, which is interesting. Looks more like her actual artwork, so that's kind of interesting. Anyway, I guess we could look at some other stats, like, yeah, level, for example. Level is mainly important for summoning personas. You can actually summon personas that are within 5 levels of you. So, for example, if you're level 5, you can still summon a level 10 persona. So there's that. SP cost is actually dependent on the persona itself, so skills don't cost more than others. It's all about what persona you're using that tells your SP cost. So yeah, generally speaking though, lower level personas have lower SP costs, and also if you have better affinities for persona, you also get reduced SP costs, and also more transmutation, which yeah, we'll get into later. The bonus, you basically get a stat bonus when you level up. With personas, this is based on their arcanas. So moon personas actually give you agility, so that's kind of interesting. Return item, I guess we might as well mention that now because it's in order. Maya returns for Vitality Incense, that's a permanent stat boost that gives you Vitality. I guess you could consider that on Maya, because Maya, again, she can be a bit squishy, so boosting her defense can be useful, although I will say this, you probably don't want to actually return Maya until later, shall we say, so yeah. So anyway, because this is a Stein persona, only Maya can use her, so just keep that in mind. And then yeah, we've kind of talked about the stats. There's also the resistance too, and Maya has actually got some pretty decent ones. Nulling Light and Dark and Nevermind, that's actually very solid. Stats is less of a problem for her unless they are Almighty Element, or Almighty Element attacks, or non-elemental. And then Nulling Light and Dark means that yeah, you don't have to worry about insta-kills. You don't need to worry about other element insta-kills then, so yeah, so that's good. It's a very solid resistance to have, it's just that yeah, she doesn't resist anything else. That's the only downside. So yeah, there's that. So now let's get into the skills. So yeah, because the information I'm showing you is from the PS4 version, some skills have different names, but I'm going to mainly be referring to their PSP version's names. I'll try my best. So anyway, we start off with Harmer. Harmer's pretty alright. A lot of enemies don't really like it that much, because you do fight a lot of dart-based enemies. It's just that, again, you can feel a little bit unreliable at points, but I think it's alright. Early on, it's just that, yeah, you do get better ways to deal damage in only a little few ranks. So yeah, I guess I should mention that too, ranking. So yeah, personas don't level up like you do. They have ranks instead. Basically, use the persona up and it ranks up. That's generally how it works. And yeah, personas rank up at different rates. Generally speaking, the higher level the persona is, the more time it takes up to rank up. So yeah, once you do gain enough ranks, or enough, I guess, rank EXP, you get to rank 2. It's not like rank EXP again. You just keep using the persona, and that's how it gains rank. Then yeah, at rank 2 she gets Dia, so she's able to heal a little bit. Not as good as Medea, which she gets later, but hey, it's not bad, especially because yeah, Maya does have a cheap SP cost, so just keep it around to heal the party. It's definitely not a bad thing, especially with how much damage enemies do in this game. It's definitely quite nice. Healing in general, I think, is a lot more important, especially party-wide healing in boss fights, because again, enemies hurt actually, so you definitely want. It's definitely nice to, you know, have that healing in the back just in case. Then after that's Aqua. Instead of getting Booba skills, you actually get Aqua skills in this game, and this is quite important because it means that, yeah, we can actually use Booba skills. Thanks to our party composition, we can use Stone Rise once she learns Aqua. So yeah, that's mainly what you're going to be using for this first dungeon once, again, she learns it. It's just that, yeah, again, it can take a little while, so you're going to be using Karma a lot until then, but that's okay. Then after that, I talked about Medea. Again, party-wide healing, I feel like is very important in this game, so yeah, definitely a nice skill to get. And if you get it before the first boss, you should be pretty fine against them, so yeah, that's definitely something to remember. Then after that, it's called Multi-Dimension here, but it should be called Omni-Dimension in our version. It's a non-elemental insta-kill. It could be kind of nice, but yeah, the chance is kind of low, and it can't be increased by enemy weakness, unless I guess the enemy is weak to Almighty, which if they are, they're probably weak to other kinds of magic anyways, including light, so again, it's not the most amazing skill, but if you had nothing better to do, I guess you can try it. Only a 10% chance of working, but hey, if it does work, that's not too bad. It's just like, again, if I want to skill things, I'm only using Karma. So yeah, that's just something to consider. And finally, mutation skills. So these come back. Basically, at the higher ranks of the Persona, they have a chance of mutating, which we'll go into more later in the next part. And then they can get skills. In this case, Diorama, which is a stronger single target healing option. Again, this could be nice if you just need to patch up one person battle. That's how I would use it. Most of the time I'm using Dia on Maya because again, that party-wide healing, again, I feel like it's just very important in this game, so yeah. And finally we got a new mechanic, although I never saw this actually go up at all in my playthrough, and that was a very long playthrough too. The unknown ability. So, or unknown powers. So sometimes when a person mutates, it'll say that they unlock that unknown power. Basically what this does is that if you get knocked into low HP, this is also dependent on what type of unknown power, in this case it's this type. Basically if you get knocked down to a certain amount of health, there's a chance that yeah, your persona will you use that unknown power, and it's dependent on what type. In this case, yeah, Maya has the assist type, so you get plus basically to yourself basically. So yeah, and yeah, these improve if you have great affinity, the best possible affinity with Persona. But again, like I said, I never see these activate at all. There's a decent amount of effects, like yeah, you can get revived, you can deal damage, you can buff yourself, you can instantly kill the enemy. It's interesting, but again, like I said, not something you can rely on if my playthrough is any indication, because again, like I keep saying, I never seen any of these go off. Maybe that will change in this playthrough, but yeah, it's not something I'm going to think about, and in fact, yeah, I may just completely ignore talking about when we talk about other personas, but I guess we'll see. Again, it's just something cool that can happen when a persona mutates, but yeah, not something I would try to rely on. So yeah, and yeah, that's basically everything we need to talk about Maya. Again, a very good sign persona, and one that you might actually see yourself using a decent amount, just because, let's just say that yeah, there's a bit more to Maya than meets the eye, but we won't be able to see that until later. And yeah, again, Maya's just a very good character in this game. She's gonna be one of your best characters, because again, lots of damage and magical attacks, and yeah, she can also support the party with healing, especially early on. She gets a lot of personas that can do that, like Maya here for example, so yeah. Again, she just does a lot. She's definitely the most powerful player member, or one of the most powerful player members, I guess you could say. Especially considering that, yeah, you can expect her to do whatever you want. And again, most people go with magic as, again, she doesn't really do much on the physical side, just because, again, there isn't much that she could do on the physical side. Yeah, that's probably the random person that has some good physical skills that she's good with. But yeah, again, there aren't that many. So, once again, I recommend going all in on Dex if you can, and maybe get in some agility and vitality if you feel like you need it. So yeah, that's basically everything we need to talk about our main character. So yeah, let's go on to our other party members now. Now let's talk about Ulala Sarisawa and her persona Callisto. So yeah, one of Maya's best friends, she uses fists as her weapon of choice. These deal strike damage. And yeah, we might as well also mention what she's good at, because yeah, we actually can't adjust Ula's stats, and yeah, she mainly levels up agility. That's gonna be her best stat. Her other stats kind of end up as a bit average in my mind. I feel like her damage can feel a bit lacking at points, and it's kind of hard to fix your dex stat as well. You can get a dexterity source, but considering it's on a full persona, which are very hard to get, yeah, it's a little bit hard to fix that stat, unfortunately, on a character like Ulala. So yeah, you may want to think about maybe giving her a lot of dex stat boosters. That's something you could think about doing. But anyway, though, I think she does a pretty decent job, to be honest, in terms of combat. Because yeah, she does have a decent selection of personas on her side. But anyway, let's go over VAs. So for the PS1 version, the English dub, I should be saying, we get Amanda Wynn Lee who voices her. Actually, does a pretty good job. There's definitely some very memorable lines in that dub. And yeah, she even says the ultimate persona's name correctly as well, when the game actually spells it incorrectly. So that's kind of interesting. We'll talk more about that later. And then for this version, the Japanese dub, we got Noriko Kaneko. So yeah, now, as for affinities, great with Fool, Priestess, Lovers, Temperance, Star, Sword and Coin. She's also good at Empress, Hermit, Fortune, Judgment, Royal Cup, and she's actually worse than Moon, which I find kind of fascinating to be honest, considering her persona. There's the again, I think we're mostly talking about, magical attackers here. There are definitely some physical ones here too. With these arcanas, but yeah, I think generally speaking, yeah, I do see a lot of she's gonna be more of a magical attacker in this game. But yeah, if you really want to, you could think about maybe making use of some physical skills of some of these personas, like yeah, her Star Arcana personas. There are a couple that use physical attacks. Hermit use a couple of physical attacks too. Those are what come to mind. But pretty much everything else is mostly magic. I guess Sword is physical as well. But yeah, you kind of get the picture. Again, I think going in on that magic, because again, Dex is a very good stat in this game, I think it's kind of important. So yeah. Hey, let's talk about the Arcana. It's actually the Star Arcana. She's also the Sagittarius zodiac sign. But anyway, the Star Arcana represents hope, inspirations, positivity, faith, renewal, healing, and rejuvenation. When reversed, it represents hopelessness, despair, negativity, lack of faith, and despondent. And I feel like it fits Ulala, as the Arcana represent being able to carry on with life despite the challenges you face. Ulala is a character who lacks self-confidence due to being she lacks intelligence, one reason being that she failed a grade in high school, and she has bad luck with men, but she manages to keep going despite these problems, alongside showing her own talents like being able to look after Maya with cooking and buying clothes. Because yeah, again, these two have been friends for a long time, and again, I think one reason why they became friends is because yeah, Lala failed a grade in high school, and then yeah, she looks after Maya because Maya's kind of a workaholic. So yeah, they have a very interesting dynamic going on, and it'll be interesting to see more of that. Anyway, the focus on faith can relate to a fondness of fortune telling as well. So yeah, Starcraft does fit quite well, but I feel like the persona is even more interesting to be honest, and that is Callisto, the nymph daughter of King Lycaon that served under the hunter Artemis and is sometimes depicted as a best friend. She vowed to remain a virgin, but Zeus would take that away by disguising himself as Artemis and do the deed. Due to breaking her vow after being found pregnant, she was expelled from Artemis's group and would later be transformed into a bear by Hera, with some tales stating that she was killed by Artemis as a bear or by her son Arcus. This led to her being put into the sky as the constellation Ursus Major, or Ursa Major, which explains why she is part of the Star Archon. Callisto also went through a life-changing event, although things go much worse for her afterwards. The persona fits Ulala as they both share in the bad luck with men, and her friendship with Artemis is symbolic of Ulala's friendship of Maya. So again, I find that very fascinating, to be honest. Again, we have a persona that, yeah, really fits what Ulala goes with. The whole being bad with men, yeah, we're gonna be seeing more of that later, but yeah, it's definitely something you're gonna learn about, that's for dang sure. And yeah, again, the relationship with Maya is very interesting, considering that, yeah, they are very close, although this persona seems to indicate that there might be some friction going on, which again, I kind of find interesting to think about, so yeah. But will it be followed on? I guess you'll find out later, but anyway. The design is also very striking too. There's definitely some BDSM influence in this design with the whip and the chains around her dress. Maybe also the high heel on the face as well. It's very striking. And yeah, it may also reference the fact that Lala may look too extreme for some men with the whip and the high heel on the face, so that she can fight back if she needs to as well. So yeah, again, this is a very thin persona to be honest, and very interesting ways as well. So definitely one of my favorite Stein personas too, just for inspiration wise. Like yeah, they really fit. They really found a persona that fits a character quite well. I must say. But anyway, as for as for being used as a Sona, it's actually kind of important because with this party setup, she's one of the few ways you can actually have fusion spells on that side. Because yeah, she does get Magna, Earth skill, and yeah, this game has Earth skills. The main four elements are of course fire, wind, water, and earth. And yeah, most of the time, yeah, the person's gonna learn skills from these, and yeah, you can take a bunch of those. And yeah, thanks to Magna, we are able to use our first fusion spell alongside Maya getting Aqua and Katsu having Aki. So yeah. While that's Poisma, she kind of learns a lot of stats skills actually. That's kind of one of her specialties. I don't really like using stats that much to be honest, because again, I'd rather just kill them with fusion spells, but hey. Here's an option, and Poisma, to be fair, can be combined with Katsu's Feral Claw once he learns that, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Then after that, you get Zan. Zan can give you Atomic Destruction as a fusion spell, which is an insta-kill one. It could be alright, but generally speaking, those Stone Rise should be doing most of the work. And also, insta-kills don't really work against bosses, so just keep that in mind. She also gets Marincaran, which according to what I'm seeing here, actually has a much higher chance of working when compared to her other status. Compared to her other status inflicting moves. So that could be something to think about if you want to obviously go for that. And of course, Marika's very fitting with a character like this, so yeah. Again, it's alright, but again, like I said, I'd rather just do damage rather than hoping a status works. Now after that, we get Magna, or Magnus as it's over here. That hits everyone. And yeah, it's actually part of a fusion spell later too, so definitely not a bad skill to get at rank 8 and make use of because of that. And finally, Monthly is the mutation skill. Not a very interesting skill, it's alright, but it actually gives you a new fusion spell to Eternal Punishment thanks to Katsuya. So yeah, we definitely want to try getting that before we're done with Callisto. And then yeah, her unknown power is one we haven't talked about yet. It's the recovery one, where you can recover all HP, and if you have the best ability, removal ailments. But again, this only happens if you take a certain amount of damage. I guess yeah, if you are taking a certain amount of damage, this is probably one of the better unknown powers to get. But again, didn't see any of these activating before, so yeah. And yeah, to close things off, we'll look at the affinities. Lead to wind, as you probably expect, but resist earth, light and dark, and nevermind, so that's alright. Not as good as what Maya got with the immunities to light and dark, nevermind, but it's okay. And she also gives an agility in sense, so if you want to boost the agility up even more, I guess there's that. So again, this is not the most amazing persona for combat, but again, I just really like the mythology surrounding them and how they fit with Ulala as well. And then yeah, we'll see more of that as they go on as well, because again, Ulala is probably one of my favorite characters in this game, so yeah. And the personas might be one reason because again they tie into it actually really well, I must admit. So yeah. And yeah, like I said, yeah, she's like I keep saying, yeah, very fascinating character, and yeah, Callisto, like I keep saying, I feel like yeah, as we go on, she's gonna be a very thing persona for her. So yeah, let's just say so. Yeah, we don't want to keep an eye on her. So yeah, with that, let's go on to our last point member for now. Last for today is going to be Katsuya Suo. So, weapon of choice is going to be guns, and yeah, like I said before, same as Maya's. And yeah, he might actually be using those guns a lot more because yeah, Katsuya is all about strength. Getting, strength is his best stat, but he does pay the price in agility, so fixing his agility is something I would recommend doing. Luckily though, the agility source to do that with is very easy to get, so once you do get the persona that returns the agility source, you probably want to level them up, get that agility source stick on Katsuya for most of the game, and then yeah, you'll have a pretty good physical attacker that's also not too slow, and then yeah, it actually works out pretty nicely for him. It's just that yeah, physical is kind of weird in this game. There aren't too many options to fuse them with, I feel like. Not as abundant as the magical skills. And for the regular physical attacks, I feel like they're a bit wanting for power. And yeah, some elements are kind of weird in that. Like for example, the guns, for example. They're called ranged in the PSP version. I think they were called shoot in the PS1 version. And because the icon, I like to call them guns because Persona 5. But anyway, there actually aren't that many range attacks in this game, or gun attacks. So yeah, you're actually not going to be using them all that much. Helios is one of those rare personas that actually does get a gun attack, so yeah. So it's kind of weird, but hey, at least there are other physical elements, and yeah, Katsuya can make decent use of those. And yeah, like I said, I do feel like physical at least is a bit more useful in this game, generally speaking. It's just that yeah, I feel like there's a lot more enemies that having a good physical attack for is a good thing. So yeah, it just feels like yeah, the enemies are pretty resilient. So if they either are immune or resist a magical attack, they'll definitely tank it. So having a physical attack just in case is nice. And yeah, having both alongside each other just feels really nice and battle, I must say. Like you have the physical attack to deal with those magical resistant enemies, and then the magical attack can then pop off. So yeah. And yeah, Katsuya of course is kind of an important component of that because again, very good physical attack. But anyway, now we talked about that. For the English dub, his VA was Dave Wittenberg, and then for this Japanese dub, it's Yuji Takada. So, as for personas, or Finny should be saying for those personas, again, very physical based because he's good with full, or great with full strength, justice, world, sword, and cup. Most of those are physical attackers, so yeah, that also makes a lot of sense. And also goes for what he's good with too: Hierophant, Chariot, Moon, Sun, Rod, and Coin. So yeah, again, it's pretty clear what Katsuya wants to do: hit really hard on physical attacks. So yeah. And he's also worse than Magician as well. Kind of also leaning to that as well. Kind of a bummer because yeah, Magician personas are pretty good to be honest. So yeah, kind of sad they missed out on those. But hey, being a physical attacker I guess is not the worst. But anyway, so he is of the Justice Arcana and Capricorn Zodiac sign. The Justice Arcana represents justice, karma, consequence, accountability, war, truth, honesty, integrity, and cause and effect. In reverse, it represents injustice, retribution, dishonesty, corruption, unfairness, and avoiding accountability. And yeah, it's pretty obvious why he's of the Justice Arcana. He is a police officer with a strong sense of justice and upholds the law whenever he can. And then the features of the Arcana also fit with his motivation to become a police officer in the first place. So yeah, that's something to think about as well. And yeah, let's go on to his persona, Helios, the Titan of the Sun, as well as being seen as the personification of the sun and the fundamental creative power behind it, which leads to him being worshipped as a god of life and creation. He fits with the Justice Arcana due to his role in the Odyssey, where his sacred cow gets eaten by Odysseus' men, so he asks Zeus to punish those who wronged them, which leads to Odysseus' men being killed, but Odysseus being spared, as he then harmed the cow, which shows that justice was exacted on the right people. A little bit of a more vague connection there, but I thought it was kind of interesting. And yeah, he puts Katsuya as the relation to the son, as well as another sun deity in Apollo, shows a connection with his younger brother, shall we say. And there is the design. So, interesting enough, Helios is actually known to transform into animals, something I didn't actually write here. So, it kind of makes sense to be a cat, but there's a bit more to it than that. He looks like a cat because Katsuya's name also starts with cat, although it's spelled a little differently. And yeah, also kind of jokes around the Katsuya's relationship with cats. He likes them, but he's allergic to them, so the persona being a cat is kind of ironic. So yeah, and he comments on that a lot. And again, like I was kind of saying before, again, he is actually known to transform to animals, and yeah, I guess you could assume cats are one. So anyway, with that, let's actually talk about what the persona does. So in terms of resistances, they're pretty similar to Callisto. He nulls his own element, he's weak to the opposite element, in this case fire and water, and then resist light, dark, never mind. So pretty simple right there. As for skills, they're pretty alright. He gets Aki, unfortunately he doesn't do that much damage. I feel like, kind of like Junpei in Persona 3, especially early on, Helios' fire skills are only really there to help with other things, mainly in this case fusion spells. Because your hitting weaknesses isn't as important in this game obviously, so yeah. That's kind of how I view it. Same goes for Meraki, which he gets at rank 8. Again, you mainly use this to help with your future spells, and not really because it's a good skill in its own right. Then after that, we get Single Shot, and yeah, I think he's one of the few personas that actually gets this skill, so you might actually want to keep around Helios because of that, because this does fuse with another skill to create a new fusion spell for this game, so yeah. And yeah, we need Callisto for that as well, so again, might want to think about keeping Helios along because of that. This is actually a pretty nice skill too, alongside Ferrocore, which he gets at rank 5. Because, yeah, you give him the Karma ring, and his good strength stat, this actually is a decently damaging skill in its own right. So, yeah, definitely something to not forget about, let's just say. Then after that, he gets Patra, so he can assist the party a little bit by healing illusions sleep, it's alright. Then after that, Spherical, again, you can actually fuse this, and it's decently useful to do that. You can fuse it with Poisma from Callisto as well, so again, there's quite a lot of synergy between your fire members, which is nice to see. And then, yeah, like I said, we got Meraki, and then Mutation's skill is an interesting one to talk about, Zeo. So, Zeo is a lot better in this game, because Thunder Blast is a lot easier to fuse in this game, only needing 2 of any Zeo skill. So, double Zeo? Well, you got Thunder Blast, and Thunder Blast is a lot better in this game too, because it actually attacks all enemies. So, yeah, there's some decent potential for some fusion spells early on with Helios because of that. But again, like I said, his physical fusion spells are probably what you're going to be using a bit more with him early on, before you get other personas you'd rather use at Katsuya. Then after that, again, he gets Recovery as his unknown power, and he returns for a Strength instance, as you probably expect. He is again very strength-based fire member, as we were talking about before. So yeah. And Katsuya is also a character I quite enjoy as well. I don't know if I enjoy as much as Maya and Lala, but yeah. Yeah, he's really cool. I like how he bounced off the other fire members, especially with another one we'll see later. And yeah, his time persona is actually pretty solid early on, especially if you do the dart transfer. So yeah, pretty nice overall. So yeah, I think that's good enough. We're talking about these time personas again. Talking about the mythology is quite interesting too, and yeah, as you probably expect, just like the Persona 2, I should be saying, is a sin. A lot of them are very Greek-based, and that's going to be the thing moving forward, so yeah. Again, I just thought that was kind of interesting because, yeah, this is not the only Persona game that would focus on Greek mythology for its Persona lineup, so again, kind of interesting in that regard. So, yeah. With that all done, I say let's go back to the gameplay and let's learn a bit more about how to balance this game. Alright, we're back, so yeah. I don't think we're going to be going on for too much longer because we talked a lot about personas, so yeah. Let's get into a little bit of battling here. And here we're going to have another thing we need to learn about. Squishy Squish Squish. It's a human. I want to talk to you, Squish. What's wrong? Say something, Squish. Is this your first time talking to a demon? Yeah, that's human for a bit. Again, I'll show this. It's slightly different in this game, so yeah. So I definitely want to show that. Squishy Squish Ooze. Are you Squish nervous? There's no need to be. Squish, I know. I'll teach you how to contact demons. How about, should I Squish teach you? Sure. Oh, Squish K. I'll explain it all to you. Do you know what demons are like? I bet you think they're scary, but that's not true. Squishy squish ooze. Demons are actually quite squish like you, just like how humans get happy or angry or scared or eager. Beings like that are also felt like demons. That's why we're the same as you, Squish. And so we get happy, scared, angry, or eager too, Squishy Squish. I think you like to get along with us, so you should try not to make us mad, Squishy Squish Squish. We share things by words, sounds, action, aura. Watch carefully, Squishy Squish. Ooze, the big green aura is happiness, see? If O1 went the same, we'll make a pact with you. When you make a pact, good things will happen to you, Squishy Squish Squish. We might give you a rare tarot card or tell you something interesting. But just because you have a pact, it doesn't mean they're all free. If you want them, just talk to us again. Squiggy squig squig, this big red aura is angry, see? If O1 the same, the contract ends. When that happens, we'll be mad and we can't talk and we might even attack you. Even if you have pact, it's over. There's nothing good about that, so you shouldn't make us squish mad, Squish. Squish, this big blue aura is fierce, see? If I want the same, we'll be scared and run away. Squishy squish squish, this is eagerness, Squish. You'll see a yellow aura and a question mark, or exclamation mark point. It's really Squish and born to try and make us eager, Squish. You guys are persona users, Squish. Sooner or later, I'll be able to enter the Velvet Room, Squish. You can summon new personas of the Velvet Room, Squish Squish. To get persona at the Velvet Room, you need tarot cards that we carry, Squishy. For us to give you this tarot card, you have to make us eager, Squishy Squish. As your personas get stronger, you need more tarot cards, Oozy Squish. So you want a strong persona, you have to Squish talk a lot with us, Squishy Squish Squish. And sometimes eagerness goes up with happiness, anger, and fear. For example, Squish, happiness and ego swell out simultaneously. A green aura and an exclamation point. See, Squish? If both things continue, you can't get a pact, Squish. When anger or fear continues along with eagerness, you get a different result than usual. These four things list together to build 3 levels, Squish. If you ask me, I recommend that you concentrate on evoking just one feeling, Squishy Oozy Squish. I think it's about demon's personality, Squish. I'm sure it's the same, Squish, for humans, but demons have different personalities. Smart ones, impatient ones, weak ones, they each have their preferences. You have to find these out during contact. The 8 demon personality types: wise, foolish, joyful, gloomy, forceful, timid, snappish, haughty. Each demon has 1 to 3 of these personalities, Squish. Depending on the combination of their personalities, their action during contact will change. You won't know the personality of a demon you haven't spoken to, but you'll know after you contact them. These are the Squish basics, Squish. The demon might ask you a question and reply to your contact or talk to you as soon as you meet, Squish. You understand when you start to make contact more. Sorry to Squish take up your time, but since you stuck around till the end, I'll give you 3 tarot cards. Good squishy squish, good squishy squish squish. So yeah, I'll go into more detail about this when we are actually contacting, because yeah, it's a bit different in this game. Excuse me, this room is offline, so you have to leave the scene at the crime and touch. Yeah, that makes all sense. But yeah, it mostly works the same. Anyway, let's go into battling. So, like I probably talked about when talking about Maya, we want to use her hammer a lot, because we want to learn a certain skill. And then we'll let the others do their thing. And yeah, like I said, let's use hammer mainly, because a lot of these enemies don't like it. And yeah, it's going to rank up Maya too. Although this guy did take it, so yeah. But yeah, at this point, yeah, I basically want to try and level up these personas, so yeah. That's what I'm mainly aiming for. So it doesn't really matter if we, do kind of badly in terms of damage. Now another thing I should mention too, unlike Innocent Sin, you can't just auto battle after a turn like this. You need to actually, redo your turn again. Because yeah, after each turn, the turn order actually changes. That's why auto battling doesn't work like it does in Innocent Sin, so yeah. It does also mean that, yeah, having good agility is quite important. So yeah. Hey, this is probably not the enemy I want to see. These things are a little strong. I think they are resistant to light. Unfortunately, but that's okay. But we'll knock them down. Slowly but surely. We do get ranks, that's good. And yeah, we can just keep doing what we've been doing. So yeah. And he's gone, good. Once we do get more fusion spells, he'll be a lot easier. And he almost leveled this up too. I mean, I've also heals you, which is nice. But yeah, this is about enemy though. He actually damaged us. That's another big difference in this game. Enemies actually do damage to you. So yeah, you need to be a bit careful of that. Let's do one more battle, and then we'll probably end things. Here's a ghost. It probably shouldn't like light. So yeah, I'm actually gonna change the order and let Maya go first. I mean, that's what we're gonna do. But yeah, we can see if, yeah, we learned any new skills as well. Hey, that could be useful. Yeah, we got single shot. That'll definitely be quite useful. For Katsuya, in fact, yeah, he probably should use that, because I mean, that's probably gonna be his most powerful attack at this point. And then yeah, Magna obviously. But like I said, I kinda wanna keep using Hammer. That's what he does. He goes like Aqua. Which, yeah, that's a little bit problematic. But since it's still early on in the game, oh yeah, my Hammer's not doing much. Again, I know that most of these enemies don't like it, but yeah, for some reason, yeah, I'm just not doing so great anyway. I don't think that animation was a single shot with Helios, so yeah. And we got the level up, good. So, like I've already said for Maya, Dex is very important for her, so that's what we're mainly going to be aiming for. In fact, yeah, I'm actually going to go 2 Dex, 1 Agility, I think. I'm actually going to neglect my Vitality, which could definitely bite me in the back later, but I guess we'll see. And is everyone else set up? Again, I probably talked about what they're good and strong at and stuff, so yeah. So we got a level up, that's cool. Anyway, here's a teacher sound. I thought that the trick was just a rumor, that's why I never thought a rumor become real. Anyway, I told him to stay in the classrooms. Hope some backup arrives soon. Leeless, that's another me, they say. Another me oblivious to myself. How ironic that has to be a cat. Yup. Can't believe the principal was killed. Could it be the lost battalion? No, it can't be. Well, hopefully it's not. I see a murder in the principal's office. I see, this is serious. So help me out. I see. So you will help me out. Thank you. I had to check all the rooms, so go check the clock tower on the 4th floor. Here's the clock tower key, good luck. And there we go. You didn't actually have to do much. Unlike Izison, let's just say. Oh really? The principal killed? Really? So the suspect might still be in the school? Really? Actually, I might continue a little bit, because yeah, if you want to grind, there's a good place too, and that's the janitor's room. Because you might want to develop your personas before going into the clock tower. 2 of these guys. And again, these are Zarthons, I believe. They look very different in this game. And yeah, they do indeed resist light. That's why we're not doing so hot there, but that's okay. Again, these attacks should be good. I think I'm just gonna, keep doing this. But yeah, again, like I was kind of saying before, once we do get future spells, things should be a bit easier. And yeah, Agi. Yeah, you want him to go for Katsuya because he's immune. So I'll go for Magna again. Once again, we're trying to get that rank up. And it's a single shot. So there you go. And yeah, with the Karma Ring, yeah, you do some serious damage with that. I could contact them, but I don't think we're high enough level to make a fight with enemies, so yeah. And yeah, I kind of want Maya again, just so she can get the rank up. So we got Akita in the face again. But yeah, I mean, keep going for Hamada. But yeah, there's definitely some differences in the power system, but yeah, overall, it's way better, it's way faster. And yeah, I think the challenges are also a lot more balanced too, so yeah. And there we go. Not bad at all. I guess another interesting thing too is, I think it's only on easy and normal, but your SP recovers while you walk. And that's definitely quite nice. Definitely a big difference from other Persona games, where SP compensation is a lot more important, so yeah. Now, another thing you can do, instead of just going straight into the battle, is yeah, checking, making sure you target who you want to target, basically, so yeah. Yeah, we'll go for a single shot. Vulture is actually not effective on these guys, I guess we'll have a look at that. Argy would probably be a lot more effective. It only resists gun. And yeah, it's actually weak to light, even though it didn't work last time, so yeah. I feel like single shot is still gonna do a lot of damage, so yeah, let's try it. So let's go for Magna here. And you actually got the one shot good. So hopefully Maya can get a little bit lucky at Hammer here. And there you go, finally. yeah, if an enemy's weak to armor, it's pretty reliable.
ごめんなさい
And then we get rank 3, and rank 3 is the important one, so yeah. And yeah, the ghosts are probably the weakest enemies in the game. Why is that important? Well, yeah, you'll figure out. If you look at skills, you know, so yeah. And like I said, I think you can actually heal her. You're hurt, let me see. And there you go. You're all better now. I can't ignore someone who's hurt. If something happens, come back here. I can't find the key to the clock tower. Where did I put it? Always leave it on top of the desk. It's not there. Did someone take it? Yeah, that again. The one who know that the key is here are the trainer, the faculty, and the students. She couldn't have. But we do have it now, so that's good. So yeah, let's end the part now, and then next time, yeah, we're gonna be using our new skill that we learned, Aqua, to learn about another new mechanic that, yeah, again, I probably talked about it, but yeah. Anyway, now Poison. Unfortunately, I don't think Poison leads to another future spell. So yeah, we're not gonna worry about that. Anyway, so that'll be it. So yeah, next time, yeah, we might actually finish Seven Sisters, because again, all you really need to do is, yeah, get the clock tower key from the teacher's lounge and then just go to the clock tower. But before you go there, you may want to, again, level up your personas a little bit, just so the next fight is a little bit easier on you. So yeah, and yeah, that might be something you do. But anyway, so yeah, look forward to that, and I'll see you guys again for that.